After a 23-year-old woman is tragically killed by the dogs she loved, should it be completely illegal now to own an XL Bully? It's time for tonight's head-to-head. A young woman in Ireland has been mauled to death by her XL Bully, who she had previously described as her baby. Nicole Morey returned home from celebrating her 23rd birthday before she was attacked by two of her pet dogs, believed to be XL Bullies, who ripped her arm from her body before she passed away. Despite police shooting the dangerous dog 4 times, Nicole's young life could not be saved. Well, in TikTok videos, like the one that you'll be seeing now if you're watching us on TV or YouTube, she had previously posted, "This is my son, and I don't give an F if you think he looks aggressive. I don't give an F if you don't like the look of him, and I certainly don't give an F if you think the breed should be banned." Speaking from Spain, her distraught uncle told the press, "It just goes to show you can't trust dogs. You can't trust any dog, but especially those dogs that are bred to kill." While we have a ban on unregistered XL Bullies in the UK, laws in Ireland are much less strict, meaning the breed is restricted but not yet banned. So tonight, look, I am asking, should it be illegal outright to own an XL Bully? I know there are a lot of strong views on either side of this, which is why we are debating it. So you have your say, all right? Quite literally, go to gbnews.com/your say, tweet me at GB News, and while you're there, go and vote in our poll. For what it's worth, I am very torn on this. I think sometimes it's the owner and not the dog, obviously, and it's all about training, but then you do see situations like this one and you think, is it really? Is it maybe just the dog? Going head-to-head on this, our dog trainer at the Canine Way is John Allison and former Met detective Peter Blexley. Look, both of you, thank you very much. Great to have you on the show. Peter, I believe that you think these dogs just shouldn't exist.
Entirely, and I've been saying this for some time. Here we are yet again discussing the utterly needless loss of yet another life. These stories are happening far too frequently. The licensing of them in the UK was a pointless exercise because you can't tell Rover not to kill someone just because he or she's been licensed. It is time now to round them up and, as humanely as can possibly be done, exterminate them.
Right, it's a strong start. John, how do you respond to that?
Well, I think Peter is so far off the mark when it comes to anything in regards to dogs. And something that's very important to highlight from the outset is that myself and as a dog trainer deals in fact, Peter deals on opinion. And that is very key when we deal in these matters, but they're so specific. Now, you talk about licensing of dogs. It is the owners that we must license. And it's a serious lack of education that is leading to these incidents taking place. They're extremely sad, regardless of the dog breed. We do not want to see any deaths or injuries take place. However, as was said in the video, the treating of a dog as a baby straight away is a lack of education, and it's a negligent behaviour from an owner. But
yeah, OK. We'll just stick with you on this, John, for now, because, you know, you can treat a Chihuahua as a baby, but it's not going to maul you to death, is it?
Well, no, you can't treat a Chihuahua as a baby. All dogs should be treated as dogs and not as humans. They are not humans, and they do not thrive off of being treated as such. Dogs thrive off of structure, rules, discipline, boundaries, limitations. Right. That is what dogs thrive off of.
OK. Peter, you've heard that there. This is about education of the owners and not about the dogs, apparently.
I'm afraid John's kind of naivety for a man who makes a living out of dogs is rather shocking. We live in an age where people carry dogs in handbags, where people push dogs around in prams, where people very much do see them as their babies. But let's not forget, this Bully, XL Bully breed was bred in the US, an amalgamation of 2 other breeds, to make it as violent as they possibly could. It unfortunately has found its way to the UK, where lives are being lost on a regular basis, not to mention children and others being mauled by these savage beasts. Until we round them up and exterminate this breed permanently, well, I've been calling for that for some time. My conscience will be clear the next time somebody is killed by one. I wonder if John will be able to say the same.
OK, John, come back to that then. Peter wants to round them up and exterminate them. You would educate the owners of these. I mean, you know, how many more XL Bully deaths do we have to have... Can I also ask you, John, as well? I get a bit of stick whenever I talk about this. People can say to me, oh, how do you know they were an XL bully? How do you know they were an XL bully? I mean, is there some truth to that? Does the media sometimes get it wrong and say that certain dogs are XL bullies and actually they're just massive dogs?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of points to take there. Peter refers to me as naive. Just because dogs are carried in handbags, this does not mean that it's okay. And at no point did I reference that as being okay. So there's the first area I'd like to correct Peter on. The second is these dogs were not bred to be as vicious as possible. If you know the breed history of the American Bully, that actually has 4 subcategories, the XL is just part of that. They were actually bred to remove the drive of the American Pit Bull Terrier. So actually it was in the opposite to what you say. The other thing I would like to bring up is that these dogs first came to the UK. These dogs came to the UK in 2014 and we had no fatal instance for the first 6 years. Therefore, the blame lies in the negligence and the irresponsible dog breeding that took place here in the UK during the pandemic and then moving forward from there. I have a very clear and a very effective programme that we could introduce that will deal with...
So you think you could train every single XL bully in the country right now not to kill, John?
Absolutely not. You cannot change genetics of any dog. The genetic makeup of a dog plays a massive part. Well, if a dog is inherently dangerous, and what we like to highlight here as well, is that almost all aggression stems from fear. So going back to what I was saying just a second ago, when you are looking at the irresponsible and negligent breeding of these dogs post-2020, this is where the poor breeding was implemented and they started to breed dogs that had nervous tendencies, which is leading to the aggression.
All right, look, very, very quickly and very finally, Peter, to you. Do you not think there might be protests in the streets at Peter Bletchley going door to door, rounding up XL bullies and slotting them?
Well, so be it. But I'm about preserving life. That's what so many of the laws in the land are, to protect people and preserve life. Sometimes protect people from their own foolish actions.
And that's where we need to bring in consequence, Peter. That's where consequences come into place.
Okay, well, we'll to John's greater knowledge with regards to the breeding of them, but it just goes to show they need to be killed.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to leave it there, chaps. We're going to leave it there, chaps. We're way over, I'm afraid. Look, thank you very much. It's dog trainer at K9 Way. It's John Allison, a former Met Police detective, Peter Bletchley. Thank you very much.